Here's the altcoin market cap chart. We're going to do some Ethereum analysis in this video in the short term to get a sense of two scenarios that I think are just very much in play. One is to the upside, one is to the downside. We have to prepare either way. I think we're going to find out very soon which one it is. But if you start here on the altcoin market cap chart, as we do hover at all-time high area from last cycle, I wanted to show you something. This is a good picture of how crazy altcoin holders are probably going right now. We have this downtrend, lower highs on the slower moving momentum oscillator, the RSI here. So this was the March 2024 run. And then right here was the kind of fake out, altcoin season fake out, December 2024 swing high. And then here's our swing high now, and it's a lower high. We see very clearly with this momentum oscillator, the bull market for altcoins has not happened. We've not had the breakout. And recently, since really July, every time, and it's October now, every time we think we're about to get a breakout, we're faked out. This is crazy. This to me is clear manipulation that is happening right now. You can have so many theories behind the scenes of why this is happening, but this is suppression. And the question is, are we going to get the breakout, or is this going to even be drawn out even more? And nobody has the answer to that. Literally, nobody has the answer to that. On the macro, I remain insanely bullish, and I want to do analysis on the Ethereum and Ethereum daily chart, Ethereum weekly and Ethereum daily chart. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, get back there right now. We see on the altcoin market cap, the bulls have the upper hand, but will that last? Can they turn this into bulls having full control? We're going to talk about that in this video. So get back here. We have our free trial going on. Start getting into our risk model. Start planning your exits for a bull cycle if it happens. So I showed you this before we start dissecting price action, especially as we go into this new week tomorrow, and I want to use Ethereum for this. I wanted to just do something on this chart because one thing that I did notice was there are a bunch of, pieces of data we can pull from, and I do it all the time. You know why I'm so bullish. And if it's the business cycle that we're, I think, approaching, a very good one for risk on assets, liquidity, if it's pro-crypto legislation, altcoin ETFs, if it's the fact that all of this isn't happening, right? Don't forget this, right? SEC was in play back here. Fed started hiking rates. And then we had Luna, Celsius, FTX. Don't forget these things, everybody, that bear market. And we have like the opposite of all of those things happening at a breakout area. But I actually noticed if you just look at the chart, I say we're in a pre-bull market area when I look at things like our risk model for even just the altcoin market cap chart. Looks like it's sitting at a 25 if I refresh this. And we're at a pre-bull market, or it's a 27 now. We're at a pre-bull market number, clearly. That is incredibly low risk. But I was looking at our, that's our exit planner with our risk mode activated. But this is our bull bear arena. This is a shorter term momentum oscillator. The purpose of this, I don't think, is so much to do what I'm about to do, but I'm such a macro person that this is what I naturally do. I like to spot patterns. And when it comes to momentum, and that's what this is a momentum kind of tool. Like, especially for the short term. So if you start zooming in on these charts, right, you get a sense of like, when we're in a move, how strong is the move? And even right now, if I go to if I zoom out, I can just go into the 6 month and we can just see what this chart looks like right now. Look at that. This is fake out after fake out. And here it is to July. There's that fake out in the oscillator we just saw in the weekly. Boom, back down. Getting green, getting momentum, boom, back down. This is crazy. But it's suppression. And I think it's pre-bull market suppression. And so what I did was I zoomed out on the max on this. And this goes back, by the way, to 2013. And you have to stare at this for a while, but I just want to show you what I saw. This move that you see all in here, right? That July area, just all of that chopping around. It generally is, and it has been higher highs, higher lows, everybody. That's what's been going on right here. It's not been like bear market. It's not been bull market. It's just, look how compressed and sideways it's been for so long. But this even recent July to where we are right now, you go back here, boom, very similar kind of just look and feel to what was happening right here. And this is August, September, October, November 2020. What is that? That's pre-bull area. And all I'm trying to say is and I do this a lot, saying we're kind of in that area right now from different perspectives, right? But this is just another perspective. And then you go back, you go to 2017. Look at this. You see all this choppiness, like kind of wondering what's going on right here, sideways. It's been kind of up, right? Little volatile. There's the bears kind of in control. What's going on? That was pre-bull area. So if you just look at that visually, the momentum, this is a visual picture for me. That's what this is. You can use this in so many different ways. For me, this is a visual picture. Momentum. I don't see like this, right? I don't see like bear market starting. Even still, that was 2 cycles ago. I don't see it last cycle. I don't see this bear market starting. I see pre-bull market. That's what I see when I look at the similar consistencies of what I see here. I wanted to bring that up to you because it's just something I spotted in our intelligence system. What I want to do now, though, as we wait and we kind of wonder, are we going to break to the upside or are altcoins going to just boom right back down to key moving averages? Again, I wanted to take a glance at Ethereum. And so we'll mainly just look at the daily chart. A couple things I want to mention to you. We're going to look at this momentum oscillator because you can just see the setup. And I'm going to talk about the 2 scenarios that can happen. But what I want to just point out to you is all the analysis I've been doing on Ethereum, it's been insane for me to see this play out. We broke through the lower trend line, started talking about the busted pattern in play. That's in play. It happened. We broke the upper trend line, busted pattern. Boom. Then typical move, right? We break to the upside and then we wait and we anticipate for the potential throwback. And we had structure on this daily chart. If you haven't seen any of the analysis videos, this symmetrical triangle of structure, it's a shorter term triangle. So we said, you know what? This is in play. The throwback is very in play. We have the target to the mid 3000s. We sit here at $4,400 right now, even after this potential busted pattern on the short term is in play, and it still is. But we sit here, there might be rejection at this resistance. We are at the apex of this throwback move, this pullback move. We could go down, hit the mid 3000s. I'm still incredibly bullish on the macro. That's price action that I'm ready for. But what I wanted to point to your attention is here's the 2 scenarios, okay? Notice first, we have the 20-day crossing below the 50, a lot of consolidation right here. We're above those moving averages, which is good, but we're at the apex resistance. You zoom out on this daily chart. I want to show you this. Go to the momentum oscillator. And here we have this falling like lower highs on the oscillator, the RSI. Good is that we are towards the end. I would say there could still be another capitulation or something, but we're getting closer to the end. We're not like here, but there's that, right? Now, we also had one back here, and then we had one back here. Notice this. Remember, this 20-day falling below the 50, this is just happening, right? At this moment of this lower high consolidation, this time around. 20-day falling below the 50. At this moment, right here, towards the end of the consolidation, right here, this time around. 20 below the 50, right here, towards the beginning of this downtrend. What's good right now is, and here are the 2 scenarios, by the way. It's these 2. It's 1 and it's 2. This one, it failed to break in continuation to the upside and we fell heavily to the downside. This is a while ago. This was March, spring of 2025. Different part of the business cycle, right? Than we are right now. Different part of crypto cycles, different part of crypto legislation. There was tariff fear getting ready to come into play in April. Different time. So that's one scenario though. We fail and we fall. Or 20-day, falling below the 50. There it is. Boom, fake out. We continue higher. That's the other scenario. So if you chart that, this is really cool. You can literally, not because it's going to give you the exact targets and like the price action, but you can just chart a fractal from when the 20 was falling below the 50 back here. There's the move. This is basically where we are right now. like this little pullback above the moving averages, right? You can take that and you can say there's scenario one. Obviously, I'm not saying we're going to 2000. It could happen, but like it could be something like this, hitting our target to the apex. And then we can say, okay, here's scenario two. Here's the other 20 below the 50. And we have a breakout to the upside. What's clear here is nobody knows. And I never sit here and say that I know. I'm literally just thinking out loud with you and charting these charts because here we are. We're at resistance. Nobody knows what's going to happen going into this new week. Everybody's watching charts. Everybody's watching altcoins, especially wondering, are they ever going to even enter a bull market? And since we're watching, if you go to the daily, the best thing to do is not really to guess what's going to happen. The best thing to do is chart something like this, especially with data that we have in terms of Ethereum price action. Chart it, visualize it, and take any altcoin that you hold, take any position that you're in right now and say, you know what? Am I comfortable with either way? Am I ready either way? That's always the answer that I need to come to. That is why I do analysis. And I just really like tracking the journey with y'all. So these are the scenarios for Ethereum. The question for you is, are you ready either way? Doesn't matter if you hold Ethereum, just any altcoins, because this will be the general directions of the altcoin markets. And so my thing is when I go to the altcoin chart, I zoom out. Yes, a breakout would be phenomenal, but the way this game has been played, especially this cycle, and with everything going on, let's just anticipate everything, which could include a throwback to the moving averages. We've been here before, right? Around a year ago, we got rejected. Let's see what happens this time around. I will say this. On the macro, because you know all of the things that I talk about in this channel, I'm bullish, and I remain so. So those are my thoughts this Saturday evening. I hope you're having a good weekend out there, and I hope you have a good start to your week. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Get into our intelligence system. Start using our exit planners. With risk mode activated, you can get back there, start speculating with a bunch of different assets, and you can price speculate too. Get our risk models, and I appreciate you if you are trying the system out at the very least. And all you members out there, thank you for just being on board with us as we grow this thing. So I will see you all in the next video. God bless.